Welcome home
favorite
to
topic.
St. Anne's, a place of community, love, and faith. No
John
matter
the Baptist,
who you are or where
frequently
you are
gets-
in your spiritual journey,
You know what? I feel
there's
like
a
I should
place
tell
for
you
you at
it's
Christ's
Stir Up
table.
Sunday.
Join us Sundays at 10 a.m.
Anyone
or
here
anytime
make nasty,
online.
nasty,
We look forward to seeing you.
like the English are into. It's a Sunday that you're supposed to stir up your plum pudding. Don't. Nobody wants plum pudding. But apparently it's based on, so they call it Stir Up Sunday because I don't know if you kind of picked that up from our collect at the beginning. Stir up your spirit. So the English are all like, stir up your plum pudding. I mean, don't. It's nasty. I mean, any food that you have to set on fire to make edible, you have to like douse in alcohol and set it on fire. I'm like, no, just don't. Chocolate. I'm a Bush Noel kind of girl. That's what we have in our house for Christmas. Anyway, not the point. Actually, the point is John the Baptist. Okay, so this is the Sunday that we really, really talk about John the Baptist. And I think it's important because John the Baptist, we ignore entirely. That's our one thing. Or we obsess about him and we get really into the fact that he was an ascetic, holy man. And then we tell you all about the fact that he just wore camel hair and ate bugs and stuff. Like that leads to holiness somehow. I mean, do not feel like I'm telling you, guys, I'm on cold medicine. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You think I'm bad on coffee. Prepare yourself. I am currently taking, I don't know, some cold medicine that's actually illegal in Europe. Yeah, they won't sell it over the counter. Whatever, not important. But here we are, together, and that's great. Okay, so John the Baptist gets one extreme or the other. But really the point of the story is not so much the person that is John the Baptist, but what John the Baptist does. And I think that's what's really, really important for us as Christians. Because we get really stuck on the church and the importance of being Christians and that we're going to go out and make new Christians and that everyone needs to go to church and church. And by all means, please go to church. Please do not hear me saying, guess you don't have to do that anymore. Because that is not what I'm saying at all. And John the Baptist is a great example of who we are actually supposed to be. Because it's not about John the Baptist being the person. And I want to step back a little bit because while we talk about John the Baptist being real weird, at the time he was not. He was exactly who the people thought the Messiah would be. He's an ascetic man. He has been committed to the church since his very birth. His parents are holy people. Like I said, he was raised through the church. He's this big towering giant of a man. He's ascetic. He's committed. So he's everything that the people think the Messiah will be, which is why there's so much confusion about him. Because people are like, well, you're the Messiah, right? And he's like, no. Like, but you could be the Messiah, right? And he's like, no. But they really do think he should be. So it would be very, very easy for John the Baptist to accept this role and to really take on the power that has been given to him by people. And he doesn't. And I think that's hugely important. But what I really want to focus on today is how it must feel to be John the Baptist in this moment. Because I want you to go back to the gospel. Do you pick up his sense of discouragement and despair? The dude is sitting in prison, right? He's sitting in prison. And we know the end of the story, that he's actually going to be beheaded and killed. But the guy probably knows that things are not going well. This is not a good time to be John the Baptist. And so I'm going to say again, his entire life has been committed to proclaiming God. Everything from his birth. His entire life, he's gone out there and he's been spreading the word that the Messiah is coming, all these things. And now he's lingering in prison. Think about that. he's not going to see the end. He's not going to see who Jesus truly. Now, he knows, but think about how much despair this man must be in. And I want us to hear that, because how often do we feel discouraged? We struggle, right? Because here we are, we're trying to proclaim the gospel. And do you ever feel like, as a Christian, you're slamming your head against a wall? Do you ever? Just me? Just me. Okay. Because there's just so much, right? And sometimes we feel like we're not making any headway at all. We feel like the churches are dwindling, that Christianity is struggling. We feel all these things, that we look around us and poverty is growing. And there's just all these things, and it's overwhelming sometimes, isn't it? If you don't feel overwhelmed, you're not doing it right. Because that's just the reality. It's so overwhelming sometimes. And that is where John the Baptist is right now. And it's okay to be there. It is okay for us to feel like sometimes the struggle is too big, that we just can't keep going. It's okay. Because here's the thing. Jesus comes and says, hey, you weren't the thing to begin with, okay? Our job is to proclaim the thing. We proclaim the gospel. We proclaim God. We proclaim all these things. But it's not our job to be it, okay? It isn't. I remember in seminary, there was a woman there, and we all kind of were talking about, like, why do you want to be a priest and stuff like that? And she's like, I want to make more Christians. And the professor was like, this is probably not the way to do it. Guys, it's not our job to make Christians. God's got that. God doesn't need us to do those things. It is our job to point to Christ, to point to God, to say, this is the point, okay? The church, not the point. We as Christians, not the point. Me as a priest, not the point. None of that's the point. God is the point. And all of the stuff that we do and all the lives that we live and all of that stuff points to God. And that should be both freeing and maybe a little humbling. And it's okay. The church, frankly, needs to be humbled sometimes. I'll be real honest with you. Clergy need to be humbled. But I think that's the message of John the Baptist that is so important for us to hear. Not that I'm telling you to go out and wear camel hair. I don't even know where one buys camel hair these days. Or that you eat locusts. I mean, if you want to. I hear they're high in protein. That's up to you. My chickens love them. But that we remember that all the stuff that we do, and sometimes the attention that we get for the things we do can be almost a drug. It can be. But that's none of that the point. The point of all of it is always to proclaim the gospel, to make the way for God to be in our midst. And so as we get really sucked into some of these things, as we get really sucked into the importance of being the Christians in the world, as we get sucked into the importance of being the church, as we get sucked into all these things, remember, none of that was ever the point. So it's okay to feel discouraged. It's okay. And I know that's tough because we're like, I'm supposed to be getting you all hyped up for Christmas, right? But I also think it's okay for us sometimes to say, you know what, it's hard. It's hard. But guess what? It's not your job. Also, Mucinex, magical. join together and say the words.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.